doing the past 38 years, right? 38 years and counting. We've been singing this song, they said, from time of the White Eagle Singers to Render It Down, ladies and gentlemen. And it gives me a great honor to introduce from Bemidji, Minnesota, the voice here. Even before I came, I have a lot of respect for a United States Marine Corps Vietnam veteran. I'm going to turn it on over to Vince Bow to rock the house, brother. Bring in Grand Entry Saturday Night.
All right. Thank you very much, Ruben. Dennis, stand by. My friends, it's an honor and a privilege to be here with you. 3 years we were here. We went through much in the last 3 years across this great land and country. But we all know we're our own tribal nation. Grand Entry. Sing it loud and sing it proud, boys. Here we go.
Welcome. Tonight we're going to kick off our celebration of 20 years of streaming Powwows live. Right now you're watching footage from the Gathering Nations Powwow in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've got some announcements, a new giveaway, and more. Can't wait to tell you all about it. Thank you for being here tonight. And post in the comments, let me know where you're watching from.
My friends, once again, we welcome you to this beautiful Powwow arena that has been blessed. We've had ceremony as we listen to this great song given to us directly by our ancestors, our forefathers. We look upon the gentleman, Ty Johnson, having the honors to carry in our sacred eagle staff, the first flag ever of the indigenous nations. This eagle staff has traveled across Turtle Island. It represents nothing but tribal greatness, carried by the great chiefs of the days of old, the advanced scouts, the warriors. They went from the homeland to the villages. They went into battle on horseback with this staff to show the strength, the unity that brings to all of us here gathered as we look upon this eagle staff with tremendous pride and honors. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for Ty Johnson, bringing in our beautiful eagle staff.
Welcome everybody. We're going to start the show in just a minute. Cannot wait to tell you what's going on now on PowWows.com and what we're celebrating tonight. Thank you for being here. Post in the comments, let me know where you're watching from. I see Delaware and Florida.
Good to see you, nephew. Ty the Bomb Johnson, Chinley, Arizona, representing the Wildcats. Ladies and gentlemen, our Miss Indian World contestants being led out from former Miss Indian World as her reign fell short in 2020, 21, 22. Big round of applause from the Seminole Nation of Hollywood, Florida, Cheyenne Kippenberger. And ladies and gentlemen, one of these ladies of the 22 will be vying for the new Indian World to represent Gathering of Nations, to represent Albuquerque, to represent each and every one of us, First Nations people, U.S. and Canada. Good luck, ladies. Wave to the crowd and let's pay them off with another round of applause.
And also at this time, bringing in our Golden Age men dancers. We'd like to welcome Ron Chasing Eagle, brother, and all of our Northern Style, Southern Straight. Ron Eagle Chasing. Woo. Good to see you, Ron. Oh, come on, boys. Here we go. It's powwow time.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Powwow Nation Live. This is the weekly show we do here at PowWows.com. I'm Paul Gowder. Thank you so much for being here. Tonight, we're going to kick off our month-long celebration. Really, we're going to celebrate all year, but we're going to celebrate special this month because 2024 marks 20 years of streaming Powwows Live. It's crazy. We started doing this in 2024, and we have been doing it ever since. I want to tell you all about it, how we got started, how it got started, all and the stories, and we got more to talk about. So we'll get to that, but we do have a few announcements. And we do have a special giveaway, and at the end I'll give you a little something extra just for watching tonight that nobody else will give, and get your little heads up or a little head start. That's what I meant to say on the new giveaway we got, and we'll announce in a minute. Thank you everybody from watching. I see somebody's from Florida, which I'm going to talk about Florida in just a minute. Georgetown, Delaware's here. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here. Oh, it's great. It's great to see everybody. So let's get to a few announcements before we get to the topic for tonight. If you have been following along, I have to give an update. And I do appreciate everybody sending me messages and letting me know that they've been sending up prayers for her and thinking about her. So if you've been following along, my daughter got a job at Disney World. She is part of the Disney College program, and we moved her down 2 and a half weeks ago. And this past week, I was fortunate enough to be at a conference in Orlando at the same time she was doing her first shifts. And we actually got to be in the park and we spied on her and found her working on her first shift and got to take a couple of pictures. And today she actually passed her training, and she is no longer, as Disney says, earning her ears. She is a full-fledged cast member now. So pretty excited. And if you are interested and you do want to follow along, she did create an Instagram and a TikTok just for her trip or her working at Disney World. It's called One Little Spark of Brooke. If you want to follow along, you can. Here is her today. She went and had Figment pull off her tag that says earning her ears. Pretty exciting. Yeah, so proud dad here. Very excited for her. That's the first announcement. Second, earlier today we drew the prizes for the giveaway we did last month in January, celebrating 1 million followers on Facebook. We're really, in the first 2 months, we're celebrating. It's been amazing. All thanks to you. So we did draw that earlier today, and I sent out emails. I think it was 25 something winners. So if you look in your email, make sure you check that and see if you won. Donald from California, hello. Ghost Rider, thanks so much. I appreciate all the well wishes for Brooke. She's living her best life down there in Florida. It's pretty awesome. I wish I had known about a program like that when I went through college. Thanks, Catwoman. Okay, what other announcements? Powwow calendar. So we are updating the calendar. I'm getting some questions about, do we have 2024 powwows listed? Yes. Of course, not everybody has sent in their information for 2024, but we do have quite a bit already listed, and we are continuing to update all the time. And you can go in here and do these kind of things and see powwows by date, state, all kinds of things. You can see we've got lots coming up. The Bay Area Two-Spirit powwows coming up. Seminole Tribal Fairs coming up February 9th. We'll be streaming that live on PowWows.com. That is a fantastic dance. If you're in the area down there in Florida, go check it out. Lots of others coming up. So stay tuned. Yes, we do have 2024 dates, but again, keep checking the calendar because we are updating all the time. Brantford, Ontario. Hello, hello. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the congrats. Thank you. So yeah, that is coming up, or that's going on in the powwow calendar. What else is going on? I made a list here. I'm trying to read it. Oh yeah, okay. So I did say Seminole Tribal Fair. We're streaming that coming up February 9th through the 11th. We do have several other powwow live streams coming up. Let me pull that up just so you know. February 14th, we're doing a special program with Gathering of Nations to kick off Valentine's Day and do their Miss Indian World. We will see all that. I'll announce that soon. We'll be showing the Miss Indian World pageant, which isn't streamed live normally, but you will get to see that. So also coming up, Hoop Dance Championships are coming up from Herd Museum Prairie Island Winter Powwow, of course, then Gathering in April. We do have some in March. We just haven't firmed those up yet. So expect more announcements of Powwow live streams in March, and those things will be posted soon. I think that is all the... Oh, well, let's go ahead and talk about the celebration. This is 2024. We are celebrating 20 years of live streaming. We did kick off a new giveaway for that, and let me flip that here. Here's what we're giving away this month. Just one of the things. We're giving away a lot of other stuff too. But we're giving away this Pendleton blanket, which is called the Gather blanket. It was part of the Dig Deep project they had to help raise money for water on the Navajo reservation. This blanket can be yours. PowWows.com/win will get you into that contest. You can enter daily. There's tasks you can complete there, as well as I've got a few bonus codes we'll be giving out, including giving one out later today, so look for that. So here, I'll flip over and show you how to enter. PowWows.com/win will take you right to this page. And if you scroll down, you can see here's the prize. We're also giving away 5 t-shirts of our logo that we did for streaming Powwows Live, 10 stickers, 5 of our 2024 Powwow season t-shirts, as well as 5 stickers and 3 of the Powwow season t-shirts. So keep scrolling down. You'll see the contest entry form. I'm already logged in. Here, let me do this. Let's go into incognito mode. I should have done that already. Sorry. Let's pop that up. And let's see. Well, I don't know how to do that. Sorry. Anyways, well, once you put your email address in and click a button, you'll see all these other things you can complete. And so if you want to check us out on Facebook, you click this little button. It takes you to our Facebook page. And when you go back over here, you hit continue. And that gave you 5 more entries into the Powwow, into the giveaway for the Pendleton blanket. That's how it works. So far, we've already got 22,000 entries today. So make sure you keep coming back daily for more ways to enter. So let's talk about the 20 years of Powwow live streaming. I published an article and giving you all the details there if you want to go read it, but I kind of wanted to talk you through it and tell you some of the stories, and even maybe mention a few things I didn't put in writing. So 20 years of live streaming. In 2004 is when we started live streaming. Then I'll kind of paint the picture of what was going on for me at the time. My wife was pregnant. It was late spring. We were expecting our daughter on, actually her due date was July 17th. She was actually born on her due date. So this was probably in April, May that I started having conversations with Tawny and her mom, Tawny Harjo and her mom. I'm trying to pull up Sharon. I have links to them. Tawny is now the director of the Kiowa Museum, and Sharon is a incredible Kiowa artist. But so they started. Back then we had forums. We didn't have a Facebook group. There wasn't Facebook. We didn't have all the social media. We just had forums on PowWows.com. Maybe some of you guys remember that. And Tawny was active on the forums, and she called me and wanted to talk about this whole thing that she had started seeing of live streaming. She was pretty active in rodeos in Oklahoma and the Southwest. And lots of the rodeos out in Oklahoma had started streaming their events live. They wanted to be able to, people at other events could watch what was going on, or people that were at home, or friends and family, they could watch it. It was kind of a new thing. And she called me and said, look, she's helping out. She was on the committee for Red Earth that year. Red Earth is held in Oklahoma City in June. And her and her mom said, look, we're on the committee. We're helping organize it. We want you to come out and stream. I had no idea how to stream anything. We didn't have, nowadays you can go on Amazon and buy a mic and a camera and all this stuff. Well, back then you couldn't do that. We didn't have all this technology. So my first conversation with them was like, I don't know how to do that. I have no idea how to make that work, or if it can work. Didn't know if it was going to cost me thousands of dollars or what. And I said, well, and the other issue is I'm supposed to be in a wedding. My friend's getting married, childhood friends getting married. He's asked me to be a groomsman in the wedding on the Saturday of Red Earth. I was like, there's just no way. It's a cool idea, but it's just not going to work. Well, Tawny and her mom were pretty insistent, and after a few phone calls, they said, look, whatever it takes to get you here, we're going to make this work. We want to make this happen. So they found a flight for me that would get me in on Thursday. So I'd be there all day Friday and fly home early Saturday morning. I said, okay, let's do this. So I figured out, hey, Steve, what's up? I figured out the technology part. We pieced together a camera and the equipment to go into a laptop to make it all work. I figured out what kind of software we would need on the website and the chat room. We got all that figured out. So I flew to Oklahoma to head to Red Earth. And for me, this was a thrill because Red Earth I had VHS tapes, of 5 or 10 years of Red Earth. And those are things I'd watched over and over and over again. I knew all the dancers there. I knew, Red Earth was, for us here in South Carolina, Red Earth was a big deal. It was one of those powwows you always wanted to go to. So it was pretty amazing to be able to go and see it for the first time. And so Friday at Red Earth in 2004 was a little different than normal Red Earth. Friday afternoon, they had a regular powwow session. Grand entry, dance contests, the whole thing. And that went great. People loved the live stream. It was awesome. But it ended mid-afternoon, like 4 or 5 o'clock. And then there was the Indigenous, it was a band called Indigenous, were going to put on a concert. And thank goodness we don't have what we have now with all the copyrights and everything. If you stream somebody else's music, because this stream would have been shut down for sure, because we streamed their concert live the whole night. But the other thing that was really interesting to me is that we only had one day. So I just left the thing going all day long. It was just streaming. But they broke down the powwow arena and started setting up chairs for the concert. And these poor arena staff guys set up chairs for like 2 or 3 hours. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Who wants to watch people setting up chairs? But the cool thing is, and if anybody here is in the chat room that was around back then, I'd love to hear from you. But people loved it not because of what they were watching, but because they were in the chat and on the forums and talking to each other and interacting with each other in a way that just hadn't been possible before. If you go to a powwow, it's all about, you get to visit with friends and see family, and the social aspect is a big part of what we do at powwows. And now being able to do that online was huge. And so I think Sharon and Tawny for asking me to do this and having this whole idea. They had that vision, and I didn't see it at the time, but I left Oklahoma knowing that this was different and this was something cool. So those first few years after 2004, I called some powwows. I went around and trying to find anybody else who would let us do streaming. I wrote in the article that's published out there on PowWows.com now that I really do want to thank some of these first powwows that gave us a chance, because again, these folks saw the vision, saw the opportunity, and brought us in. So Red Earth and Hunting Moon and Morongo and Manitowoc, they from early into like 2005, they were calling me and having me do this, which was pretty amazing. Now, the other thing to kind of paint the picture of what was going on is I was working full time, and of course my wife was having Brooke in July. So, going into 2005, we were, newborn. I'm working full time for the state. I'd only been in that job. That job I was in there I was working for the Office of the Attorney General of South Carolina. I'd started it in, I think, February of 2004. So I was new in the position, and all of a sudden asking them to, hey, I need to take leave again because I'm, flying to California for Morongo Powwow. And it didn't take long. It only took me a couple of years to burn up every bit of leave I had. And let me tell you, state government in South Carolina has a pretty decent leave. back then I think I got 15 days of annual leave and 12 days of sick leave, something like that, which was very generous. And plus all the state holidays, I used them all, and all for powwows, and to the point where I didn't have any left and really didn't know what I was going to do. Another big moment and a big, thank you again for my boss at the time, Sandy Spring. She helped me ask the executives to allow me. Basically, I just started taking leave without pay, and I did that for several years. If I was going to a powwow, I would just not get paid by the state, and it worked out okay. It was a little difficult for us, but we made it work, and that was the only way I could go to some of these powwows. And as it started growing, it was really crazy. And seeing the comments, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the story. It's a crazy story, and there's so many things that happened in between. I'll tell you some of the highlights later on. But, I knew that if we were going to do more powwows, I was going to have some help. My wife traveled with me a few times, but of course she was working a full-time job too, and didn't have as generous of leave. She was working private sector. So I had people help me and go with me. First, I want to say a big shout out to Stacy Felix, who was in Oklahoma. She was a big powwow person and traveled a lot out there in the Oklahoma area, and she started going with me. She went to Morongo with me for several years at Hunting Moon. She knew all the dancers and singers, especially in that part of the country that I did not. And so she was a big influence of helping us really spread the word. And back then we were doing like live cameras and letting people do shout outs online, and it was a lot of fun. And she was really great help. Ryan McDonald, Toolbox on the forums, if you know him, he was a big help early on too. His background, he's a AV engineer, and God, I cannot tell you the times I would call him or text him or email him, message him on the forums, asking him what camera to buy, what microphone. Having somebody in my corner that knew the technology was really huge. And still to this day, I message him all the time. We have calls and talk about it. And he started traveling with me. Stacy eventually, had a family and couldn't do it as much. So he started traveling with me too. And he's been going for years to Morongo and Gathering of Nations. Started going to Manitowoc a few years ago, and others. And so he's really helped out. In fact, we have one of the trips he went on for me. You can see it right there. He is. He's in there. He was able to go and pick up our trophy right there when we won a Native American Music Award. So really appreciated his help, and it's cool that he's in the chat. Him and his family have been a huge help. And Ryan, we got to talk about Manitowoc this year. Looks like I'm going to go back to Manitowoc this year. I haven't been in a couple years, so looking forward to that. Then another big thing that really helped, because I was the problem. We could not grow the streaming anymore with just me because of the limitations I had. So somewhere around 2002, before we were in live streaming, Michael Gabbard, who was on the forums too, all these people on the forums really were clutch. He started helping me doing some programming with the calendar, doing some graphics. He's a database person, and so he helped me a lot on that technical side. And somewhere along the lines, he's like, well, I can help out. So he traveled with me to a couple of powwows, and then we finally got to the point where it was one of those things. And I'll tell you, as somebody who, I did all of PowWows.com up to this point, all on the side, right? And in fact, until just a couple of years ago, all this was just a side project. And having help was amazing. But then letting somebody else do a live stream without me there was very, very difficult for me. I don't know if I ever told Michael this, but if he's watching, it was very hard to let go that first time and not be there. Giving somebody else is difficult, but man, am I so glad I did it. Michael Gabbard and his wife Dolores, I'll tell you, have had an incredible impact on Powwow, on our live streams. In 2023, we streamed 25 events on PowWows.com. Now that's including some non-Powwow stuff and powwows. It was a ton of things we covered, and Michael went to most of those. Most of them, him and his wife did them. Him being able to kind of take that on and over the years make it his own, and he handles all of that now. He calls the powwows, he sets all that up. Michael has been a godsend. And look, if you've watched our powwow live streams in the last year, it's because of Ryan, his wife Dolores, and Michael, his wife Dolores, and Ryan, who have really made all of this happen. Without them, we wouldn't have been streaming 10 or 15 or 25 events in 1 year. It is amazing. And a big shout out. I mean, I put this in the article, and I got to say it. One of the things that it just shows you how dedicated Michael and his wife are. This past, last weekend or the weekend before, he streamed the Winterfest Powwow up in Brandon, Manitoba. So they went up there on Friday, set up, streamed all night Friday. Michael gets up in the morning, drives to Bismarck, North Dakota, sets up at Winter Jam Powwow, while his wife is still up in Brandon, Ontario, Manitoba, streaming that powwow. He goes down, streams another powwow at the same time, drives back to Manitoba that night, and streams all day Sunday. Crazy. That's the kind of thing they're doing. Big shout out to them. Please post in the comments. Let them know how great it is. It's pretty awesome. Thanks to them, we're really cool. Sorry if you're hearing that. My daughter is texting. She's on a break from Disney World. So we're going to pause the story for a second. It's her first night of working not as a trainee, so she does not have a manager standing over her shoulder. Sorry for the interruption, but pretty exciting to see her. She's having a great night. She's working till like 2 a.m. tonight. Gotta love theme park hours. Okay. So that's kind of how Powwows got started and how it grew to what it is now. Steve, thank you so much. He's reminding people, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. It really does help us a lot. And Ryan now manages our YouTube channel and has done amazing with that, posting videos all the time. It's pretty awesome. He's putting out so much content over there. I do want to mention a couple of highlights for me over the years, as well as some just crazy things that have happened. Michael, Ryan, and I were texting the other day about some of the crazy things, and some of the things we probably can't say on camera. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. There have been some crazy things happen. I mean, like, there have been disagreements in the arena, and the judges have come and asked us for the footage to try to solve those issues. We can say that. Probably a big highlight for me, like I said earlier, was my first time going to Oklahoma and going to Red Earth, having seen that for so long. That is a big highlight. Another one, when I think back on Powwow live streams, one that always pops to the top for me is, if anybody went to Skimitzen back in the day, Skimitzen was huge. And it was a 4-day powwow. It was Thursday through Sunday. It was a lot of dancing. It was really cool. And there was one year we went up there and we were streaming, and the guy up there in charge of the powwow, he had this idea to highlight all the winners at the end with this spotlight dance. And I've seen spotlight dances before, but they did it in such a way. They brought in a steady cam, like the guys you see running down the football field with all the contraption over the head. This was way back when. He had one of those, rented a rig for the guy, and they cut down the arena lights and put just a spotlight on the dancers, and then used that camera to really highlight them up close and in their face. I don't know that anybody in the arena, they probably thought that it was a really cool scene, but being able to watch the footage as it was going out, seeing how amazing that shot was, and how for me it was just moving, seeing the dancers being highlighted in such a way like that. It was really cool. I remember, I was tearing up because I'd never seen such a great thematic shot, cinematic shot of dancers. It was really cool. That was awesome. I see some people saying that they were there. It was pretty crazy, right? So this one was awesome. Another highlight, and it is still to this day, grand entry at Gathering of Nations is always a highlight. Seeing that many people in the arena at the same time, that's really cool. And especially Saturday night when they put all of the drums together and they sing the Gathering of Nations song. If you haven't been there for that, that's another one that you need to go and see. And a crazy moment. This happened to Michael just recently, just late last year. He was streaming a powwow and they had to shut the whole powwow down before they even got started good Saturday night. Somebody set off bear spray at the powwow, really dangerous, set off bear spray and had to shut it all down because they couldn't be in the arena. I mean, crazy stuff like that. We've been at Morongo when there was some nefarious activities going on. Some people got hurt. Not powwow related, other people from the local area kind of having some issues. I mean, it's been some crazy stuff. We've had technology challenges. We were one of the first years we went to Morongo. They ran a special fiber optic line for us to be able to stream. Somebody cut it. And if you've been to Morongo, the tent where they have Morongo is not close to the casino. So running another fiber optic line was difficult. It took them most of the day on Saturday, and we were down. I think a lot of IT people got in trouble that day for not being able to have it back up and running. Fun stuff like that. You know, there's always challenges or whatever, but I will tell you that those are some things I remember and I think about. But the thing that keeps me going and keeps me wanting to push and do more live streams are your comments. And the comments we get, I put some out on PowWows.com today, and here I'll pull them up. Clitzy says she remembers the bear spray. When somebody writes in and says something like this about, mere words do not have the capacity to explain how much live streams and powwows has enriched my life. My wish is that more often than not, powwows are streamed live, and we are given at least a day to plan around these events. So things like that are amazing. And then you see people write in and say things like, here's some more comments. I love the webcasts as they allow me to watch the powwows that I can't attend. My favorite would have to be any of them with the tiny tots, as they are the future. Really, really cool to see that. And more comments. And, the best ones are when we get comments of people saying that they're able to watch at home. They're able to, if they're not able to travel, maybe they're sick or a little old and aren't able to travel as much, and they write and say, hey, I just got to see my grandkid dance. Those mean the world to me. And I try to keep and save those in a little folder. Or we get somebody that's in the military and they're overseas and not able to, and they're able to see a family member. That kind of stuff is awesome too. Sorry for the text. I am trying to stop that noise, but I'm not successful. Sorry about that in the background. But yeah, those are just some of the, now they're saying that they know that I'm live. But those are just some of the things that have happened. Again, I am so blessed to have a team that works with me here at PowWows.com, and so blessed that you folks out there continue to watch. To me, it's also amazing to see there are other people out there now streaming powwows, whether they're doing it with their phone on TikTok or other companies that are streaming powwows. I love it. It is fantastic to see that more and more Native culture is getting pushed out there for you all to watch. And stats from last year are also amazing. I'll pull this up to just to kind of round out our discussion of what powwows have done. Last year in 2023, we streamed 25 powwows. It had a social media reach of 21 million people. That number is incredible. 21 million people. 255,000 times somebody hit the like button, commented 16,000 different times, and hit the share button 23,000 times. those are numbers that are just hard to even think about. It's just how many people have seen that and interacted with it. It's amazing. 2024, we're gonna do our best to continue streaming as much as we possibly can, and we have some plans for 2024. Last year, we did upgrade the server, kind of the box that we take with us that allows us to connect all the cameras and the sound and do all the switching and graphics and all that. We upgraded that last year, so that was big and major. We have 2 of them. We have one of them that's still old, and we'll hopefully be able to upgrade that at some point. Now we're working on upgrading the cameras. We've been using Canon and Sony cameras for a long time. Now we're upgrading to what they call PTZ cameras, where they pan, tilt, and zoom, and we can control all that remotely. So what's going to be really exciting about that, we have one now, we're hoping to buy more. What that's going to allow us to do is be able to put a camera further away from us, still have control of it. So we're hoping that we're going to be able to get more drum shots and more shots of the other side of the arena. When they do splits of the arena, we're going to be able to get more footage for you. It's going to be really, really amazing. I can't wait. But we do need your help. We do need your help to continue that. And one of the ways you can do that is to support us with our Patreon. Over at PowWows.com, that is a way that you can do that. And do want to thank all of our longtime supporters and our new supporters. Thank you, thank you. Supporting us over on Powwow on Patreon does help a lot, as well as we got our merch, and we put out some special merch for the 20th anniversary of live streaming. If you shop on Amazon, PowWows.com/Amazon, that helps us. We get commission from Amazon. It costs you nothing extra. Those are all ways that you can help us out. But the biggest thing you can do is continue to like, share, comment on anything you see we post online. That helps us the most. And of course, enter our contest. Let's talk about the contest. PowWows.com/win will get you in a contest to win this blanket. We're going to celebrate this month by giving away that blanket. And like I said, you sat through my long story. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Here's a bonus code that only you people watching the video will get. And it gives you extra entries in the contest. So if you go to PowWows.com/win, look for a thing that says secret code or bonus code and enter 760625. You guys just got extra entries. Jim says, big congratulations on 20 years. I hope you keep streaming for another 20. Hey, I do too. I sincerely hope we do. Kat says it blows her mind. Thank you. Steve, moderator out on YouTube, thank you for being here and helping out on all the live streams, keeping the chats going. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you. Again, I want to say a big thanks, one, to my wife and my family, my daughter, who's on her break at Magic Kingdom right now. They have been incredibly supportive and let me take these crazy trips and do these things over the years. Thank them for that. All the people who have helped along the way. Tawny and Sharon for having this idea in the beginning to even come up with something like this. And then, of course, Michael, Dolores, and Ryan. Thank you. Thank you. Stacy, too, for helping out in the early days. She hasn't been able to travel with me with us for a while, but hopefully we'll see her again at another powwow soon. And, of course, again, I want to say a big thank you to all of you. You guys watching the videos is what makes us, is the powwows want to continue having us come back. You're the whole reason that this continues to work. So thank you for that. Look forward to bringing you more streams. We've already streamed, 3 powwows live in 2024. We've got one coming up in Seminole Tribal Fair and more coming. Look for Michael, Ryan, and I are going to have a conversation hopefully tomorrow and talk about all the powwows coming up. It's going to be a great year. Thank you for all your support. Hope you get to spend some time with the family this weekend. Relax, watch some powwow videos, go hit up our YouTube channel, leave a comment, we'd appreciate it, or hit a subscribe. Thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and a special thank you to all of our Patreons. And here are all of the members of the Powwow Nation and our Patreon. Ghost Rider, our next powwow live live stream will be February 9th to the 11th. Will be the Seminole Tribal Fair from Hollywood, Florida. You can find powwows near you at PowWows.com/calendar, or just subscribe to our newsletter, and I send out powwows twice a month.